I wanted to come on today because I'm not going to be able to sit out here. Well, I can bundle up and it can be snowy in the background, but it's going to start to get really cold in my forest. And like, that's not smoke, that's just my breath. So I want to come and sit with my forest as much as I can before I can't touch the ground anymore. One of the main ways that I connect with the forest is actually connecting with the earth and connecting with the mycorrhizome, which is the way the mushrooms communicate with the trees. And it's in the first, like, pretty much 4 inches of the earth. And if you know anything about science, that freezes during the winter. So my communication that I receive from nature tends to get a lot more quiet in the winter. And I don't have to do as much work in my forest in the winter. We do clear brush in the winter. We do clear trails in the winter. But this is when my physical season slows down and my thinking and feeling season kind of perks back up. And this is when we do our shadow work. This is when we do our internal healing work. So if you're not a spiritual person and you're wondering why you feel like you want to slow down, it's because the forest is slowing down. It's because in the northern hemisphere, everything is releasing, everything is letting go. The squirrels have already done all their preparation. The birds are starting to leave. I've heard the chickadees come back, and their voice is louder than anybody else's in the forest. So I know when that happens that we've stepped into the other side. And now it's more about cleaning up my garden. Like everything, I don't know if you can see, is kind of wilted. We've had frosts for the past probably a week. So the only thing that is surviving in my garden right now is my strawberries. And they're actually doing awesome. I'll probably have like a really, really good yield. Probably just one meal's worth because your fall strawberry yield is usually much less, but they're super tasty. So I'm kind of excited for that. But everything's slowing down. So how can you take cues from nature? How can you notice what's going on around you? The leaves are falling, we're shedding, and we're covering the ground. We're getting ready for rest. We're getting ready for going inward and maybe hibernating, maybe not being as physically active. Like, what are you going to do over the winter months to keep yourself as balanced as you did during the summer season? So I'm a very physical person. I need to be out doing things. So I have to make sure that I'm still doing my working out, that I'm still maybe even putting on my spikes and going out for walks in the woods, even when it's icy. I try to get out as much. I have some serious SAD, so when I don't have sun, hey guys, when I don't have sun, I literally just lose all of my energy. So I have to up my vitamin D a lot in the winter. I also have to come out. I'll still come out, and our house faces south. We built an energy efficient home that faces directly south, and the south wall of it is a solar wall. All of it is a solar mass, but because it faces directly south and it's a solid concrete wall that's 13 inches thick, it absorbs the sun all day. So when you sit beside that wall and you're in the sun, it's just the most glorious heat. So that's something that I do in the winter. But how can you keep yourself regulated? How can you keep yourself emotionally regulated when you're not getting outside, when you're maybe not doing all the activity that you once were? And this is why during these winter months, during the dark season, during the shedding, we go more into rumination. We go more into that internal work. We start questioning, why am I here on this planet and what am I doing? So think about this new season and think about what's happening in your body. Your body's slowing down, but it still needs activity. Like, you're probably wanting to eat more. When it gets colder, our bodies actually work harder. So it's okay if your appetite increases because your body is working harder. Mine works incredibly hard in the winter months because it doesn't have temperature regulation. I'm autistic and I have ADHD, and our bodies don't work the same. So in the winter months, I have to do a lot of nutrient dense meals so my body can actually have the energy to regulate. Well, it can't regulate, but it tries really hard to regulate its temperature. Hi guys, how are you doing? Where are you chatting from? Tell me where you're coming from. I just wanted to come on today to talk about how our bodies whisper to us all the time, and it's not just the forest. I'm Emma Smallbone. I'm a forest whisperer. I'm Emma. Hey Alex. Hey Chippy. I live in the woods of Canada, and the crows are coming in just to say hello this morning. So I sit in the forest. My job is we live in a managed forest, so I have to maintain all the trails, and I have to record all the animals that are here on the property, and I make sure that the invasive plants stay at bay and that we're planting new trees. Last year I planted 100 new trees, and actually I have to get on and order my trees for next year. I think we're only going to do 50, but I need to start putting more deciduous. We have all these Scotch pine, and they're actually invasive, if you didn't know. A lot of stuff in North America is invasive, and people decided to do monocropping. So like where we are here in Puslinch, it used to be farmland. I still don't understand how they farm this land because it is so rocky. We are at the very edge of the escarpment, and you put a shovel in the ground, you're gonna hit a rock. Like, you'll maybe get pockets of soil every once in a while, but it's mostly rock. And it's all these Scotch pines. Well, Scotch pines die. So our forests got too damp this year. It was too wet, and these Scotch pines don't like wet soil. And we pretty much live in a swamp. So they're all dying, like, quickly. And we have to put in deciduous trees. And as you know, it's very expensive to put in large deciduous trees. So we're putting in hundreds of saplings every year. So over the next couple of years, we don't end up just living in a field, because that's probably what's going to happen. And I'm trying to keep all the trees that are already here that are deciduous happy, but it's a struggle. And there's only so many hours in the day. So I have to go out the back and clear around some fir trees today so they can grow better this winter, so we have some more trees that aren't just Scotch pine. So that's what I'm going to be working on for the next probably 2 months, is just clearing out. Yesterday we cleared out around an aspen and 2 red oak trees. So that was my offering yesterday, because the forest this last week has offered me a lot of really cool stuff. I should have brought it out. But I got porcupine needles, a ton of them, so that was really cool. And I also got a bunch of feathers yesterday. So if you don't know about reciprocity and how it works in nature, is you do something and you receive something. So every single time I work in my forest and I clear something out, the forest always gives me a gift. Whether it's mushrooms, whether it's apples, whether it's a skull, whether it's porcupine quills. I've never gotten porcupine quills here. I've been asking for porcupine quills for probably the last 5 years. So the fact that I got them yesterday means that I did something really good. So I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. And we've had arborists come out and look at some of our major trees, and we've had them kind of fertilize them, or we've had them trim them. And I used to work on an apple orchard, and we have probably 50 or 60 like wild apple trees on our property, and I want to go and prune them all so we can actually start receiving food from our forest. And we actually have some pretty rare apple trees on the property too. So I want to start pruning those. So those are my two big things, is clearing out around the deciduous trees, and there are some really nice spruce trees in Norwegian wood. And then the other thing is I want to prune my apple trees. So those are my two projects for my downtime. And then my other project is working with you guys, doing all your shadow work in the wild healing. So I'm going to be running a free course on shadow work. And if you're interested in learning more about yourself and about why maybe you have some stumbling blocks in your life, or why maybe you struggle to get going or keep moving forward, or what your limiting beliefs are. We all in our lives have these ideas that kind of keep us small. I had so many of them in my life, and this last eclipse season I yeeted those buggers so far, and I'm ready to now start teaching again, which is exciting. So if you're interested in learning more about yourself, go to thewildhealing.com and join the community and start sharing about who you are and what you do in this world, and how you want to maybe make the world a better place. And that's what my community is all about. It's about healing yourself first and then healing your community. And there are so many amazing healers and artists and creatives in my community that are all looking to make the world a better place. So if you want to do that, and you want to start with yourself, because that's where we have to start. We can't start anywhere else, if you didn't realize. If you don't start with yourself, there's really no point. So one of my biggest messages to everybody is clean up your fucking hearth, man. Your hearth, nobody else's. Start at home. What do you need to do? What do I need to do? I've been learning all sorts of things through shadow work and through that really deep internal work. And I invite you to come and do the same for free, because this is what I'm offering for reciprocity, for being able to live here in this beautiful forest in Canada and do my heart's work and do the things that I was literally called to this planet to do. I am offering the world a free shadow work course. So if you're seeing this video, if you happen to drop in and connect with this and you watch the video all the way to this point, 1444, then go to thewildhealing.com and join in a community that wants to heal themselves and then heal their communities. because we can make this world a better place. And it starts with you, and it starts with me. I'm Emma Smallbone, and I am a forest whisperer and a shadow worker and a shamanic practitioner. And I work in the traditions of my ancestors, and I want to help you do the same. So come with me on a healing journey this shedding season, and we will make major changes to this planet, and we will all feel better for it. So go be wild, wildlings, and I'll see you in the wild healing. Bye for now. Have a wonderful day.